Hello and welcome to a new installment of Shonen Studies. Today we will be covering the doctorate thesis in the quantifiable realm of Ouji. Ouji, which of course stands for Overly Universal Joyful Intellectuals. For this episode, we will be covering the long-lost truth that the world has missed for almost 22 years. This being that Roronoa Zoro has been one of the world's greatest doctors. To understand this, we must backtrack through history and relive the past of Zoro. One might wonder why I call Zoro by this name. The reason being that here in the overly universal joyful intellectuals realm, we respect copyright and do not wish to have our case study be mistaken for another character. Now to our history segment. Born in 1701, Roronoa Zoro would be raised in a dojo in the East Blue Sea. It was here where he trained every day to become a great swordsman. Beside him was a dear childhood friend named Kuina. However, her life was cut short in a manner most logically puzzling, for Kuina was discovered to have died from falling down her staircase. To Zoro, this was the catalyst for his scientific journey. How could this girl, who was able to defeat Zoro in 2,000 separate duels, die so easily to a descendant structure made out of wood? There was no explanation for this, so Zoro decided to find one, along with any unsolved mystery. To accomplish this goal, Zoro decided he would go into the medical field and learn the ways of science. He chose a medical focus specifically to ensure that there would be no deaths like Kuina's ever again. Zoro knew that in order to prevent the untimeliness of death, he would need to go somewhere to be taught by the best to use the best techniques. He learned that such a place existed in the form of Harvard University. This place would be perfect, for its alumni are famous the world over. Professor Clover in Historical Studies, Madame Crocodile in Foreign Affairs, Maelstrom Spider Squad in Public Relations, and Monkey D. Dragon in Accounting. There was only one problem that kept Zoro from his goal: finances.
To get to Harvard, knowledge wasn't enough. No matter how rich your mind may be, the school wanted to make sure that you could provide the physical riches as well. A 4-year tuition at Harvard would cost around 265,136 berries. It's quite the devilish paradox. The first real challenge, whereas in you want to learn, well, earn your stay to earn your lessons.
However, there was a factor that could allow Zoro a chance. He was living in the great pirate era started by the pirate king, Gold Roger. There were plenty of dangerous pirates that, if captured, could net the finances needed for medical school. So using his skills as a swordsman, Zoro became a bounty hunter. While unintentional, Zoro would have his name made famous by his exploits as a swordsman. This is where his combat skills overshadowed his medical desires. But through his career as a bounty hunter, Zoro earned his way to Harvard Medical School and emerged with a bachelor's degree in cutting-edge science. Cutting-edge science, for those who do not know, is based on the practice that the way of the sword is also the way of the cure. It is an advanced form of swordsmanship where instead of simply cutting the body of a patient, the doctor would instead cut the disease. For an example, we go to the Kingdom of Alabasta, where we found footage of Dr. Zoro attempting to cure a Baroque works agent by the name of Daz Bones, aka Mr. One. Mr. Bones suffered from a metahuman illness called Blade Impulse. This was caused when Mr. Bones ate the Supa no Mi, a devil fruit that transformed Bones' body into a living blade. Unfortunately, becoming a blade meant acting like one. Daz Bones was trapped in a never-ending urge for combat, like all swordsmen have in this world we share. However, this would change when Dr. Zoro encountered Mr. Bones during the Alabasta Civil War, where in one solid slash, Dr. Zoro was able to cut the blade portion of Mr. Bones, finally putting this living weapon down. For more information, we interviewed a guard who was near the area of the clash.
It was a terrifying thing to see. Where I was standing, I saw one of our country's enemies slicing up our infrastructure like it was made out of paper. But then, Dr. Zolo arrived. I was worried since I saw him swing his sword against a palm tree and it didn't do anything. But the next thing I knew, he cut through the metal menace. What was more unbelievable was that the villain survived the ordeal. I was there when his body was recovered and then arrested. This is all Dr. Zolo's doing.
Indeed, Dr. Zolo had saved a life and would continue to do so. Throughout his journey on sea to save lives, Dr. Zolo fought numerous criminals that would bring harm to the world. From crews of warlords to rogue government agents to disgusting fishmen to even challenging the dreaded Emperor Kaido in the land of Wano. However, there has been some controversy towards Dr. Zolo. The most notable example is that there have been eyewitness reports where he has been seen serving as the supposed right-hand man to Captain Monkey D. Luffy of the Straw Hat Pirates. Captain Luffy has been known to create chaos for not only pirates but also to the Marines that serve and protect our homes. When we asked our brave Marine soldiers, nearly all of them criticized the good Dr. Zolo, calling him nothing but a filthy pirate. For more clarification on the Marine stance, the spokesperson for Fleet Admiral Akainu offered our program this message.
Roronoa Zoro is a dangerous pirate. He has endangered several lands, almost killed a celestial dragon, and we do not need to bring up the billions he cost us in property damages. We also have reason to believe that he has been trained by former warlord Dracul Mihawk, and he is engaged and threatened the livelihood of our own Admiral Fujitora. The fact that you defend his actions infuriates the Fleet Admiral, and he wants you to stop this program. He's serious. He told me that he would roast you all until you scream to the final boiling point. Do you remember what he did during the Summit War? I don't want to clean up any more burned bodies. You don't understand. In order to make sure he can finance his pirate extermination campaign, he made me his spokesperson and cleaner. I'll never forget Frank. He was a loving family man, and I could fit his burnt remains in the palm of my hand, and I had to dump those remains in front of his wife and child. I hate my life!
While our hearts and thoughts are with the spokesperson, there have been numerous reports about how several people, royalty included, have been saved by Dr. Zolo. For instance, following our investigation, we have learned that Dr. Zolo was critical in the salvation of Alabasta, Dressrosa, and the Footnote Kingdom that is Fishman Island. In fact, the rulers of these lands have shown nothing but support for Dr. Zolo in the form of written letters which we will share with you now. If it hadn't been for this man, I would have died to Doflamingo and my people would have perished. Signed, King Riku. We cannot believe that Zoro would be attacked like this. He is part of the future Pirate King's crew only so that he can reach as many people as possible. He is following a dream, and we will not stand by as his good name is dragged through the mud. Signed, Princess Vivi.
This man is a noble one, helping me to reclaim my throne after usurpers took it. To call him filthy is an insult to myself and my people, who owe this swordsman our lives. He is quite skilled. I briefly clashed with him, and I could tell then and there he was no laughing matter. Signed, King Neptune. God, I fucking despise fish people. They're so disgusting.
Oh! There was also one more letter sent in, but, well, it only has one word. Quack. And it goes on for 3 full pages. It was signed by a Karu? Though, personally, I prefer this over the revolting letter sent in by those fish quote-unquote people. Back on topic, we would like to remind everyone a key detail. According to our founder, Mr. Ouji himself, there is a parallel that provides 100% evidence that Dr. Zolo earned his Harvard degree. He noted that Trafalgar Law, former warlord of the sea, was also a doctor. And what did he have in common with Dr. Zolo? That is correct, a sword. Blades can only be mastered by geniuses. In fact, Dr. Law also has a PhD in cutting-edge science. He is the foremost expert since his devil fruit, the Opi Opi no Mi, provides superb visuals as to how cutting-edge science works. We can also provide another example. Observe fellow Doctor of the Straw Hats, Tony Chopper. His hooves, the very things used to make medicine, are sharp. And what else is sharp? Correct, a sword. It does not even stop there. If we were to go to the Marines, they have a doctor by the name of Fishbonin. He is known for having a fish skeleton in his mouth, and wouldn't you know it, bones are sharp. It wouldn't be the first time where a fish could prove to be dangerously sharp. The evidence is overwhelming. Dr. Zolo's cutting-edge science have done truly wonderful things. He was able to put a resurrected skeleton at peace. He was able to root out a criminal wart from former warlord Doflamingo's stone guardian Pika. And above all else, it is his straightforward mindset that is the foundation of all science. You will never see him lie, never see him excuse any acts of extreme aggression. While his sense of direction has often been criticized, this too is a front. Dr. Zolo, with his seventh sense of intuition, can sense those who need his help and will just head in the general direction of his patient. Also, can you really expect Dr. Zolo to casually use stairs after what happened with Kuina? This just shows another side of humanity to the good doctor. In conclusion, with his swords and medical expertise, Dr. Zolo has only performed the miraculous. Perhaps after he emerges from Wano, there will be more information to his journey. But with this, our show has come to an end. This is also in part because we have been notified that a giant ball of magma is headed for our studio. With this, we would like to thank our founder, Mr. Ouji, our sponsor for this series, Mr. Big News Morgans, and to you, our dear viewer. Be sure to like, comment, rate, and subscribe if you enjoyed our content. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye. Madam Crocodile in Foreign Affairs, Maelstrom Spider Squad in Public Yes, Maelstrom Spider Squad in This is so stupid.